Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday. I love Wednesdays like this. I woke up early, the manga was out. I got to read it real quick. I'm pumped. And, I'm here to bring you my analysis. I'm here to do my interpretation, what I thought of this chapter of Bleach chapter 506, The Flame number 2. I'm very excited to talk about this chapter. Let's jump into it. Alright, so this chapter starts off with some dialogue between the second strongest captain and one of Buckbeard's Stern Ritters. They're just having some dialogue about, the Stern Ritter saying that, he also gets a power up from his boss fighting, and they're just exchanging words. Nothing too heavy there. The real golden jewel of this chapter is with Yamamoto. Yamamoto is a boss. Yamamoto is pissed, and he is showing that effortlessly. Like, it looks like Kenpachi is not in this episode. He's not in this episode. It looks like Buckbeard must have tossed him to the side when Yamamoto came, and there is some dialogue going on. And one thing that I took from this is Yamamoto, number one, the Stern Ritter who killed or supposedly killed Byakuya is dead. He and two other Stern Ritters decided that they were going to jump in Yamamoto's fight and try to help out their boss, and they promptly got burned to a crisp by Yamamoto's sword, Rujin Jaka. So they're done. So again, that brings up an interesting question. What happens to the Bankai that they've captured with their medallion when the person who stole it dies? That's very interesting. Does it go back to the original owner? Is it just destroyed forever? We don't know. So these are burning questions that we're going to need to have revealed in the coming weeks, because again, just with Yamamoto's subordinate, when he destroyed and burned that other guy to asunder, what happened to his Bankai? Was it destroyed? We know it can't return to its original owner because he's dead, but it would be interesting to figure out what happens with those Bankais. Now that's just my observation on that. Now it looks like another shock and blow to the Kenpachi fans like myself is Buckbeard, and I didn't realize this last week. It looks like Buckbeard not only crushed them Kenpachi like it was nothing, he didn't even have to bring out his sword, which means that he beat Kenpachi with his bare hands, with Kenpachi using his eye patch off and using his sword. We don't know if he used used his double-handed technique with his sword. We don't know any of that, but it looks like Kenpachi was just utterly mangled and defeated, and that really still hurts me. But I'm over it. Last week I kind of flipped out, but this week I'm calmer. So Yamamoto, after he dispatches of 3 Stern Ritters on his own, which is not, it's an impressive feat, the one that he killed that was, with Byakuya. But, again, Kenpachi took out 3 on his own as well. The biggest thing came from when Yamamoto starts attacking Buckbeard, and Buckbeard tries to block with his arm, and he is severely cut. Now, it doesn't look like he lost his arm. It does look like there was a deep laceration, because you can clearly see in the next panel there is blood dropping to the floor. Then the biggest part of this chapter, oh boy, the biggest part of this chapter is Yamamoto uses his Bankai. Yes, you've heard it here. Yamamoto has unleashed his Bankai. I've been reading Bleach for like 4 or 5 years, and we have all been waiting for this moment. There are certain people who still have not unleashed their Bankai. I didn't think he was going to do it, because again, he must know that these people are going to try to take his Bankai. And that's another thing I want to point out. It looks like someone reaches for a medallion. They don't show who it was. It could have been Buckbeard reaching for a medallion before Yamamoto released his Bankai, or it could have been the subordinate who reached for a medallion. So clearly they're going to try to take his Bankai. I'm not too sure why Yamamoto would unleash his Bankai in order to try to defeat these guys, knowing they can be stolen. Now, the only thing that I can assume from this is that one or two things have happened. Either Yamamoto is extremely pissed off and is not thinking straight, or number 2, he has a plan. And maybe Koretsuchi has come up with some sort of device to block the Bankai stealing by now. One of those two things. Either he's just so enraged that he doesn't care, or there could be a third option. Maybe his Bankai is so powerful it can't be stolen, or if anyone else does steal it, they can't control it and they die. That's the only thing I can think of. But I'm still thinking that if Buckbeard knows him, he understands how his Bankai works. So this is very, very dangerous for Yamamoto. We'll see what happens. But again, I'm going to give this chapter review a 4.5 out of 5. It's almost flawless. I would have wished it was a little bit longer, but you know how manga works. Definitely want to know what your thoughts are. Also rate, comment, subscribe to my videos. I really appreciate it. This is Showing Up the King, and you guys have a fantastic morning.